I don't think that's the Project 06 you're used to. Look at this, we even got the loading screen for Soleanna. It has a hub world. Yeah, this is a Generations mod, actually. Not only does it have a hub world, it has fully walking around NPCs that you would actually see in retail Sonic 06. This is a completely different experience than what you would get out of P06. It's not a replacement for P06, it's pretty much its own thing entirely, but look at this, you even have all the proper animations and pathfinding for the NPCs. And of course you have the beautiful Generations water and lighting engine and everything, all here on Hedgehog engine. You actually have a full 3D control over your character in the hub. And you have a handy dandy little map that just zooms in real time. There's a lot to do in this demo, but I can only scratch the surface today. Oh, hey, Tails! Hey man, your video just released recently. People seem to like it. Congrats, dude. I'm getting mine next. Hey, I doubt that. Anyway, memes aside, like, we have full secrets, complete collision on the rooftops. We could do whatever we want. And man, it sure would be helpful if we could actually, like, float around in Generations, right? Yeah, well don't worry, man, we got the real Silver mod. Not just a model swap. Yeah, Ultimate Darkman has been real good about giving us exactly what we were hoping for. Ultimate Darkman is kind of like a modding legend for this game. I remember seeing their mods like a decade ago. They've always been able to like replicate the movesets of characters and even the animations. Like even Silver's jump, he doesn't go into a jump ball and he jumps much higher than the other characters. He's very floaty. Depending on where you go, that's where you're gonna unlock levels. It's not playable yet, gotta be a little bit more patient than that, but it's cute that we can even do it, right? Oh my god, it's him! It's the boy! Yo, what up, Schnuckles? Probably a good time to mention that nearly everybody we could see in this hub world actually takes place in 06. There's a lot of history here. Look at that little idle animation. And I'd also like to point out, the glowy parts on Silver's outfit actually have illumination in these shadows. Silver is like made for this hub world, the way that there's so many gaps that you can just jump over. Hey, Amy. Oh wow, you can actually go to the other sides of the city with the loading zone. That's impressive. And I actually love that when you initiate Silver's power, he can actually turn. His handling on turns is actually really sensitive and it feels good to use. And it has the exact sound effect and the illumination on his aura is very convincing. The quality of his glow reminds me of actual P06. Yo, we could revisit the place in that one cutscene where Silver and Blaze have a heart-to-heart. Oh man. I'm enjoying this way too much. I need to play some actual game. There's so many explorable areas. It's just a full zone. Loaded with the proper sound effects on each of the terrain as well. And wow, you can actually talk to people and do side quests. You can go in all the little alleyways and actually turn in a full 360 unlike regular Generations physics. I love how they handled the hub world. I love that they reuse the actual hub models that you get in regular Generations, because like this fits, this is what they were technically made for, but then you just have Omega, who's reusing Vector's model. It reminds me of when people mod Omega over Donkey Kong and Smash Brothers. It's just not his posture at all, but very clever use, since Vector wasn't even in 06. But I am glad that we saw Shadow here, because I might need his help later. Now, time to scare the child in me. We're gonna go back to the area that I kept dying countless times because I didn't understand how the lightspeed dash worked. That's right, level 1, baby! We don't need to do anything fancy though, we just hover over, stress-free. Now, the interesting thing about this is that Silver actually activates his voice lines when the story characters would do it in their own game. By the way, how beautiful is this just visually? The way that Silver's animations look with the close-up camera work, the camera work in this mod is incredible. Usually level imports just have the terrain and that's it, and you're kind of there to fend for yourself. But the level design, the camera work, it's all intentional. It's all made to account for Generations physics, and on top of that, the mod creator even has a separate download where you just perfectly get to replicate the Sonic 06 characters, animations, models, and movement. Look at this! This Silver mod is a completely different Generations mod intended for like the vanilla game, and yet, those animations for the wall jump and the rail grinding, they all work, just as intended on regular Sonic. This is just one-to-one, the actual level design from Sonic 06. Dude, they even have the mechanic where you kill the leader and all of them disappear. That is so gnarly! I don't even understand how you inject this kind of custom code into Generations. I mean, it's an old game with a lot of modding documentation. But like, dude, the way that they even got the effect for the bridges to collapse, the custom sound effects, it's all scripted so wonderfully. And we even have the Methyllus versions of the Iblis creatures, which didn't exist in base Generations. And to top it all off, we actually have the 06 mechs as well. A lot of these level mods that I've seen in my time, they just reuse the existing Generations assets because, you know, it's hard work. But like, dude, we have the floating enemies with their actual attacks. We have the regular 06 mechs. We have the Methyllus creatures. We have the Iblis monsters. Like, this is the dream when it comes to modding new content into existing games. Like, this is what people always want. And the fact that I actually just have this is so impressive on its own merit. It even has like a floating animation for the fan. Look at that, there's even item boxes with a UI pop-up, just like in 06. And then, custom cutscene right after you activate the switch. I'm gonna have to call in Shadow and see how he gets through this zone. I mean, it is his section, it'd be kinda rude if I did it. I bet. Oh, look at that little air animation, dude. It looks like he's actually flying in like a super form, the way he gets so dramatic with his posing. Oh my god, whoa, actual 06 physics moment. I got like actually pushed me upwards. Ooh, quick step section. That's a fun way to adapt Generations gameplay style to everything. This plays nothing how I remember it in the actual 06, and I'm into it, dude. I love Generations physics. And of course, just like Shadow himself, we have a combat-focused part of the level. Whoa, that animation and sound effect combo was so slick! I feel like I'm being played with right now. How in the hell do you get all of that in Sonic Generations? And I know exactly why I haven't seen it before either, because of the sheer scale of detail, dude. Yo, the sun rays coming through the ceiling? How in the world do you even emulate that, dude? Lighting engines between different game entries can be tricky. Man, I wish I could stun them with Chaos Spear! I don't have an emerald! All of that for a medallion. Okay, dude. Oh my god. But the man thought it was a battle royale out there. I know why the score requirement is so high. So let's go on our merry little way here. And look, there's even like text boxes for the dialogue that's baked into it. I have never seen a custom Generations level do this. Like, dude, the camera angles, the fact that they got the egg carrier's model in here, that's crazy! It's making a custom sound, and we can follow it, just like original 06. And then once again, I'm using a completely unrelated character mod, and all of these animations look beautiful. What? And these Mach Speed sections work perfectly with the boost mechanics of Generations. Look at that. All of this aesthetically looks so cool with the Generations models and lighting and everything. Ow. And because I'm Silver, I'm gonna just glide over all of that, make it an easy day for me. Silver has to be by far one of the most impressive custom characters I've seen in this game. And it makes sense too, because I think he's like one of the latest that was actually developed. And hey, another thing that they did is that it has the 06 scoring system, so you're not getting by on just time. And of course, just like all boost characters from the boost era, we're able to just go through them if we want. We can mow them all down, no matter who we are, even if the character didn't canonically do that before. It's got fully functional alternate pathways, with all the mechanics from actual 06 working, dude. I don't even think that wall jumping mechanic existed in base Generations, did it? Yep. And that's another thing I love about custom character mods, is that they typically always have custom trick animations as well, which is just such a fun way to inject their personality to make things a little bit more convincing. The wonderful thing about Silver is he may not have a spin ball that damages enemies on jump, but he certainly has the height to make up for it. Like, in the past, it felt really easy to be like, oh yeah, I'm just playing a skin of Sonic, whatever, like, I can hold the boost button in the air and it will do like a pseudo version of what this character's actual canon ability is, right? But no, I mean, like, dude, we even got the wall ready. The way the physics are altered on Silver, he's floaty, he's slow, he's easy to control in the air, he doesn't even do damage from his jump. Just eat shit. Like, look how easy it is to turn a corner when he's levitating. It's made so delicately. I always associate Generations boost with an uncontrollable monster that you have to be really mindful of where you use it. Kinda like that. Silver even has a raw drifting animation. I hope I get more opportunities to use that, because he doesn't go into a jump wall. That's not a thing Silver really does. He just starts sliding on his heel. Oh, yes, we get a closer look at his trick animations. Big fan. The fact that I can actually run along that wall, so badass. That's not something that you really see from actual official level design anymore, and when it does, it feels really scripted. Even his sliding animation looks so good on the water, even though he probably wasn't ever made with this mod in mind. Now, I do wonder if the 06 comboing system still exists in this game, since they carried over a lot of the other mechanics, such as like the score system itself, because a large part of actually getting a good score in 06 was comboing your enemies. I might actually have a pretty good opportunity to do that since I can levitate. A large part of why Shadow was fun to use was because my mans could just keep floating and keep the combo going. Same with Sonic and his bounce bracelet, honestly. It was just a matter of don't touch the ground. You can probably do that with Silver's levitate. Ooh, you can, like, spam his glide, just like in actual 06. And man, people always want character representation for their boys, because we don't get enough of it, thanks to game journalism. Whoa, you do not want to homing attack anything. There's been so many cool things in Frontiers, but I don't know if any Sonic game is going to match up to the level of production value in Sonic Generations. I really don't know. You know, maybe we gotta give Frontiers another 10 years, but this game is king. It's part of why I call it, like, the perfect Sonic game to play, aside from the fact that it's just consistently quality, it has good representation of the series' history, the characters are utilized even if a little bit, but then you add on the modding scene, and sheesh man, you don't even need to buy another game at that point. How we doing that time, coach? You know what? We'll take the little victories. I'll never get over how the homing attack camera angles, like, bounce around and move when you violently hit the enemies around. Wow, I actually saved that. I bounced off the top of the water. Oh my god, he really is the ultimate. One of the things I actually really appreciate about the real character mods is that they typically try using, like, the animations and the model that these characters share as NPCs in Generations. So, like, Shadow has a boss fight, so he actually has an official skating animation, and that's what they use in the mod. Also, wow, this platforming segment is so much scarier when you can't just fly over it like every other character can. Yo, Shadow is gonna skill different Silver right now. Seriously, every character's wall jumping animation looks clean as hell. I have no idea how these are even logistically working together. This Shadow mod has to be like 10 years old by this point, dude. So happy Shadow Generations, huh? I get to play it early. I'm chill like that. He just bounced off the wall! Oh my god. I feel like I'm playing with, like, speed storage or something. What's happening, bro? I activated M-Speed by accident.
Ready, go!
But if we can talk real one-on-one for a second here, this is how I've been coping with waiting for Shadow Generations. I've been loading up the Shadow character mod and playing custom levels in hopes that I could feel something. You know, as they say, Shadow fans, when you're waiting for a new Shadow game, it's never over, it's just another day. Goofy-ass sound effect. I will never miss an opportunity to make fun of that sound effect in an action-packed game about emotionally complex hedgehogs. Behold the ultimate power. People aren't allowed to get so goofy with their own creations. It's beautiful. Like, you're gonna see a lot of flavor in Shadow Generations, but are you gonna see that much flavor? It's pretty easy to tell that everybody that works with Shadow in an official manner loves the guy. Party's real nice, a good personal friend, but also they just love his character. They love doing things for him. I see. You're just supposed to, like, regularly turn, but I like to live on the edge at every given moment. Hashtag your Shadow, am I right, fellas? Look how mysterious he looks just chilling out there. My guy, you are not Tobey Maguire. You are not him, pal. You know what? I'll take what I can get. It's been a long day. And I'm always in love with the way that I'm just allowed to move the camera like you would expect in any normal game. Because that was always a weird thing with the boost era Sonic games. This is kind of freaking me out right now. This almost looks like I'm playing a modern Sonic game that's revisiting Soleanna, and Silver just happens to be playable with the new technology. I have some business to attend to. Hey, we got one of these boys. Dude, it's so pretty the way that we can just go through the gates, and there's the big open field, there's the arches and everything. It looks so much prettier in Generation, especially because the camera's so much closer to me. Whenever I looked at these big open grassy fields in Sonic 06, it always seemed like they wanted to do something like they did in Sonic Frontiers. I always kind of got that vibe out of Black Knight and 06 and stuff of the like. Wow, we could really just go everywhere, dude. There isn't a single place that isn't fully accessible. Alright, I ain't playing though, man. Where's Kingdom Valley? I need to get my Sonic X Shadow Generations on, baby! Look at that, man. Shadow's doing the continuity in my video for me. Talking right to Silver after we just cleared a mission together. Oh, this is so pretty, dude. The lighting! I just love seeing these hyper-realistic environments side by side the really cartoony Generations era model. It looks so good, dude. And I always love the hyper-realism in the Eggman mechs, too. It just makes everything feel just so much more cooler and high stakes. The destructible wall, the fully lit candle, there's absolutely no effects missing, dude. We can even grind on the wind, bro. The fully bouncy ropes, just like Sonic X Shadow Generations and no other game in the franchise. Let's go, baby, we get it early. I have the game early. What? The eagle works? And there was like a custom animation for it. Dude, it fits these models so well. Okay, I don't know what that was. He fell head first. Yo, that was, okay, that actually got me. I've been consistently so surprised, but that was special. Again, like, you're probably only supposed to use Sonic on here, right? Like, I feel like they wouldn't account for custom characters here. But, like, that's such a smooth animation. The way his quills are blowing in the wind and everything. He's just dangling there, dude. Everything's business to him. He don't care. Oh god, I was like, if only I had Silver, and then they just jump-scared me with boost physics. Yo, that camera change looks so raw with him just landing on the wind perfectly. The way he's like leaning and turning on the rail as well. Dude, these camera angles. Imagine Black Knight level ports with those kinds of camera angles, dude. I think Black Knight levels play really well with the boost formula. I guess we're going this way. Dab on them. God, and I love that, like, when you kill them, they scatter their bits around, too. It's extremely accurate. It's really this level of environmental interaction that I think we want to start seeing from the Boost games, especially knowing how beautiful and technologically advanced a game like Unleashed could be. Shadow Generations looks like it's gonna be, like, one of the first truly next-gen Sonic games, so it's gonna be so cool to see how they adapt Kingdom Valley into more modern level design. Oh, getting risky. I like it. No mission too dangerous for him. Man, there was just something about seeing Kingdom Valley in the trailer and knowing, like, yeah, that's Kingdom Valley. Wow, the lighting in this room is impressive. But then it was another thing to just see the returning mechanics with the rope jumping, and it's like, okay, yeah, we're officially back, boys. By the way, if you notice that I talk about 06 like there's nothing wrong with it, that's because I don't really dislike it at all. I think it's a fun game with a lot of really cool ideas. Yo, that U-turn? Base Generations could never do a U-turn. Wow, this is actually, like, needlessly threatening right now. Okay. It's all about the timing, baby. Oh my god! That was really funny. I only realized at the very last second what was gonna happen there, because that's not in the Sonic 06 level design. They just added that bumper there to be an ass. I love that it, like, perfectly shot him upward to get hit by the enemy, though. That was a great example of, like, humor from the level designer. God, I am not used to having to play this section like this. You could tell the way I'm hanging on by a strand right now. Yo, this is so cool. This is, like, completely original. Honestly, feels much better than the vehicle segments, too. Like, Project 06 did a lot to fine-tune those segments, but I didn't find them that compelling, even in P06. I love this section here, though, where they just automatically let you run around the spire of this, like, castle building. It's like a nice little break in between the high-octane reactions you have to get a good rank on here. It's an example of automation that works well in a Sonic level. Something like that zip line, I don't think is a good example. Whoa. Just because you're waiting for a long time. I feel like breaks in these kinds of games where you're like constantly testing your execution really need to just be like short so you can get a quick breather and get back in the action. Dude, all of these events happening too, and the fact that like these have to be scripted little cutscenes mid-level in real time, because you don't have a lot of like the physics mechanics from like Silver and stuff in Sonic 06. Like you don't have that stuff in Generations, so they have to account for it in a different way. Really slick. I'm actually a huge fan of the idea of adding these original level design elements to existing levels. That's something I'd like to see happen more in the Sonic modding community, honestly. You know, you do a level import, and then you add some of your own flair to it to make it feel new. Oh my god, the perfect spring right into the eagle. That was just fun to watch. Oh, hey, other eagle. Oh, okay, they're playing catch. I don't think that was in Sonic 06. They're doing their best, and I'm quite entertained. I can't wait to give this a roll with Silver, dude. I didn't even know if I hit that rail properly, dude. You know what? The boost is actually pretty decent for taking out groups of enemies in these rooms. Case in point. That was like a perfect combo, and I didn't even have to break a sweat. I just had to have the littlest bit of a reaction available. These sidestep sections are extremely fun. I love them. I love the way that it just on the fly with no warning tells you, hey, let's test how well you can react, boy. The fact that they used a trick ring in that long section, because even in the original 06, that's kind of like a long cutscene, but in Generations, they just put a trick ring there, so you can still get your combo up and feel like you're doing something for your score, while still getting the spectacle of the moment. I was thinking about it, I said, when I saw Kingdom Valley announced for Shadow Generations, I was like, it's such a better level than Crisis City, and I had to think about it for a while. I was like, is it though? And now that I'm replaying this, I'm like, okay, yeah, no. I have good taste. I have good taste. There's just so much happening. This is a 9-minute level so far. To be fair, I could be doing it faster, but 9 minutes with a character as fast as Shadow the Hedgehog speaks to how much they... What? Talk about handling the continuity for me! How in the hell? It's one thing to put idle NPC characters in a brand new hub, like you're reusing the asset the way it was intended, and then it's another thing to just straight up put a character with an animation in the real-time level? I just straight up didn't know this was possible in Generations. The crazy part is, this Sonic 06 mod is actually pretty old, and I've somehow just missed this from all this time. Oh my god, this might actually be the best Generations mod. Dude, how did I miss it for this long? I love how him gliding like this looks a little bit more believable than running on water on the side of a wall. Just feels a little bit more realistic, even though hedgehogs can't fly. God, and these little segments where you get the close-up camera view and the wall jumps. I seriously thought this was just going to be another day where I play a custom level and I'm like, yay, more level! But this is just a cinematic experience. Give it to me, man! How can I get an S rank on Kingdom Valley but not Wave Ocean, an infinitely easier level? We know that on a technological scale, 06 was trying to do a lot, but in terms of like story and environment scale, dude, it always just did it for me. The environments always just felt so stoic and badass, dude. Like, we only get snippets of the background of this country. Oh my god, like, he's stylishly skipping all this stuff. Yeah, let's go right around back there, thank you. That's movement you're not getting on any other character, and I love it. I guess I didn't go this pathway last time, huh? Let's see where it's gonna take me. I feel like a lot of reassurance with Silver on this level, because, like, at any given moment, I can just recorrect the course if I feel like I might mess up my rank. God, I love the use of the light speed dash in this level design. You can use the base physics to get your wall run, but the light speed dash gives you that extra level of reassurance, which is nice. Alright, Silver, do your thing! I love the funny physics. Dude, and the fact that I'm playing a completely different character model, and that animation just still looks clean on all the hedgehogs. He's holding his little hand. Isn't that adorable? Ow. God, like, we didn't even get that piece of dialogue last time because I didn't go on this direct route last time. Now this part is easy simple. You just go over here with a little bit of a levitation, man. I like that the different mechs are their different colors as well. It isn't just the gray/white mechs you have the variants there somehow too. I struggle to even understand how you make the distinguishment in the file system of this game for generations to realize, yeah, these are different enemies and not just egg pawn remodels. You know what? This part's gonna be funny, because I'm not gonna have to scare myself. Yeah, that's the true 06 experience right there, baby. We just use Silver's levitation to get around everything. Man, and like, isn't that the charm of Sonic level design, though? Like, replaying over and over to see which different pathways and shortcuts you can take, and then it gets even more nuanced when you have different characters, too. And with, like, the absolute sandbox of abilities you can give characters in a 3D game, it's so much more interesting than the 2D games could be. They just need to capitalize on it better. God, I seriously love that you can just gently tap his levitate like an actual 06. And it's really nice, too, having all these, like, different animations and touched-up models for other playable character mods, because when you have these scripted cutscene segments, it's really cool to just see what the other character looks like in that moment. Just very entertaining, and you know us Sonic fans, we love analyzing every bit of everything. Ow! Rare footage of a generation's enemy hitting their target. That's some spice to our life, huh? Oh, this is gonna be fun. Yay! Ah, I've never had to work this hard in my life. I love that his boost aura isn't even like a regular Sonic or Shadow aura, where it looks like they're traveling so fast that they're creating that aura behind them. It's just his glow. Amazing attention to detail, because like Silver's never been playable in a boost game, but we can all perfectly imagine what he'd play like in a boost game. Dude, does he even have like a special animation where he like shakes himself off and gets up after getting hit? Let's see. Does he have a special animation? He does, dude! He's got like that determination in him. He's like, no, 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 I need to lock in. I can't let that get to me. I love how snappy the ropes feel there, too. It's like actually better than 06. If there was ever a way to reference 2D artwork poses, it's always going to be the tricks. Doesn't matter if it's Sonic, Shadow, or Silver, they always look raw when they're clinging onto that wall. That's just the Hedgehog effect, man. Dude, he's even got like the special animation when he attacks. That's awesome. Probably the perfect place to show off all his different tricks, too. What I love, too, is that you can cycle between your levitation and your homing attacks. It's just like actual 06 in a lot of ways. That looks so good. Especially with the custom animation after the homing attack. Oh, that looks so cool! Instead of just a running animation, the collapsing staircase as he's just gliding above the ground. Sometimes you gotta talk to the realest one you know. One of the things I really liked about 06 is that there's so many different characters. You get to see them interact like you would expect them to, in like some kind of like action anime or whatever, right? But you had all these little moments where the characters were supporting each other in the middle of the level, which is not something you see pretty much at all anymore, sadly. I guess you kind of saw it in Superstars, if that counts. Dude, it's like the way he's violently shaking and like trying to stabilize himself with all the speed he's gaining on the side of the wall. God, and I just love how close the FOV is. We get like a good look at the textures on the ground, which gives you like a sense for like the environment. And I feel like every time I'm in this area, I can smell like the mist of the water in the air. I think it's impossible to take a Sonic character design and not make them look cool at every possible angle, in any possible environment. Which is why I don't mind the realism in these games. It's a wonder to me how a fan can have such good grasp over every individual piece of articulation on the Silver model. Like, look how many quills he has, look how floppy they are. I plan on covering many more characters in the coming weeks, and if you're new, please check out the modding playlist, I do this all the time.